Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy RJ Elite. You already know what it is. Welcome back to a noob's perspective. I know it's been a while. I told you it's going to be probably spaced out far in between about when I was going to actually upload these videos. Because animes take forever to watch sometimes, you know. Today we're going to do one that's near and dear to my heart. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. More so Naruto Shippuden than anything. It will always hold a special place in my heart for this reason. So, when I first met Lady Akane, I wasn't into anime anymore. I mean, the only thing I would watch was Dragon Ball. And Dragon Ball was already done. With Dragon Ball Z was already done. I already finished it and everything like that. And I didn't go back and watch anything else. I was more so a gamer than anything. That's all I did was play video games. So when I got with her and she told me that she was an anime fan, I was like, yeah, I used to watch it back in the day. One of my buddies back in the day, shout out to Derek, used to, try to get me to watch certain things. We used to play like the DBZ games and the Inuyasha games and, just a whole bunch of stuff that we used to play all the time. Naruto never came up for me. I had heard about it, but I had never watched it. It's so near and dear to my heart because this was the first anime we actually sat down and started watching together. Now, she was already far ahead of me before I even started watching, so I had a lot of catching up to do. She was already on Shippuden, and she was already probably on episode, I think it was like 300 and something of Shippuden. So you can imagine I had a long way to go. One of the best animes I have ever seen. I know it catches flack for a lot of stuff, which we'll get into in a little bit, but it's very special to me, just because, more so because of that fact. This is the first anime that myself and Lady Akane started watching and completed together. Alright, we finished the video. Everything's done. So as I usually do in these videos, I'm going to talk about character development for a second. But it's so many characters in this anime, I can't run through all of them. And I don't want this video to run too long. So I think I'm going to pick four characters that I'm going to talk about. Naruto went from the #1 hyperactive knucklehead ninja to savior of the world. Now, it's hard to believe when you first start watching Naruto that this kid that causes all this ruckus and all this trouble just to get noticed ends up being the savior of the world and end up being loved and liked among his people in his village, because Naruto starts out, man, like everybody just doesn't want to deal with him and is not necessarily afraid of him, but they're like, you see the adults sitting there talking about stay away from this boy, don't play with this boy, and he didn't deserve that. Like, he never got to know his parents. He was a baby when his parents both died, and he was just they treated him like an outsider, and he just wanted to be noticed by people. He just wanted to be acknowledged by people. He just wanted friends. And even though that these people would shun him so much, he would never turn his back on him. He would never turn his back on them. He would always be there for friends. And that's the thing about this anime that is so cool, because it's just like the power of love, the power of friendship can expel all hatred. And if you want to take it into a bigger sense, it's like that's what this world needs, period. So we need a Naruto, basically, in our world. I want to talk real quick about his relationship with Iruka Sensei. So Iruka Sensei is his teacher at the academy when they first attend, all the groups of kids, to become to get a chance to take the Chunin exams and stuff like that. Iruka Sensei was the first person to really acknowledge Naruto, and it goes without showing that throughout the whole entire series that this one man ends up becoming Naruto, like a father figure to Naruto, and it's probably the most important person to Naruto besides Sasuke and all that type of stuff like that. But I think it just goes deeper on a level with Iruka Sensei. The thing about it is, like, you see it touched in several episodes, but I feel like it wasn't touched enough, just because of the fact that this character was the first person to acknowledge him. And Iruka kind of had a similar upbringing as Naruto, because Iruka's parents were also killed in the last great ninja war. Jiraiya. Jiraiya Sensei. Uh, his relationship with Jiraiya is is very interesting because of the fact that Naruto didn't even know that he was the godfather. He was his godfather. Jiraiya taught him everything he knows. He saw, and that's what I'm saying. The fact that he wrote a book about Naruto before he even became the child of prophecy. And we got to see it play out later on in that little alternate reality universe that they did of him being the child of prophecy and being the one that saved the world. But everything was at different circumstances and stuff like that. Enter Hinata. Hinata has always liked Naruto ever since. There was a segment that they did later on in Shippuden where they showed Hinata's story about, you know, trying to be accepted. Not trying to be accepted, but knowing that she is basically the princess. She's always liked Naruto, and she's always been too shy to say anything about it. Anytime she was around Naruto, she would get so bashful and just giddy and, you know, blushing, and she loved Naruto. And Naruto, it's like he wouldn't give her the time of day. He just like, what's wrong, Hinata? Like, you know, like they were friends, but I don't think Naruto at a long point never thought that they would end up together or anything like that. Finally, the relationship with this Sasuke character. So, him and Sasuke were on such a deep level of friendship that, like, I don't think anybody has a friendship like that. To the point where, not looking at it in a linear sense, but more so in a just emotional sense, that you care so much for somebody that you don't want to see anything happen to them, that you'll go to the ends of the earth for these people. Now, like I said, I don't think anybody in society may, I mean, you may think so, but if it came down really between you and them and something at gunpoint, are you really going to jump in front of a bullet for your friend? I don't think you're going to. Naruto would do that in an instant for Sasuke. That's how much he cared about Sasuke and bringing him back to the Hidden Leaf Village. Sasuke, in the end, finally confessed about how much he wanted to be like Naruto, because Naruto didn't think about jumping into situations. He just jumped into situations without even thinking, because if his friends were in danger, there was nothing to analyze. It was straight to the point. Hey, my friend is in trouble, I'm going to go save my friend. He said he considered Sasuke his brother. He even said that to Itachi at one point. And it was just more so, like I said, it was more of, you gotta say it's kind of more so family than anything. So let's talk about Sasuke. So, first let's talk about his relationship with his father. So, in the Uchiha family, or just in his family alone, Itachi was his big brother. Itachi could do no wrong by his father's eyes. He, you know, excelled in pretty much everything. And all Sasuke wanted was his father's approval that he never got. He tried and he tried and he tried, and he never got his father's approval. So that would automatically make you feel a certain type of way as being an outcast in your own family. So if you're always sitting there and you're trying to prove yourself to your father or prove yourself to your big brother, it'll do some damage to you, man. And Sasuke was a really messed up individual inside. You saw that, and it all stemmed from everything that happened inside his family, and then everything that happened with his family, and then learning the truth about everything. So his relationship with Itachi was his big brother. He always wanted to spend time with his big brother. His big brother never had time to spend with him, though, because he were always on missions. And then after the incident happened where Itachi murdered their entire clan, he hated Itachi. Like, I'm going to kill you, basically. Like, it was like hatred, like blood. I mean, you just imagine the thing you hate the most about something, and just knowing that you want to seek revenge on it, or destroy it or something like that. That's the feeling that Sasuke had for Itachi. Now, as time went on and he got the power that he needed, And he finally went square up against Itachi and defeated Itachi. And Itachi told him a secret about stuff that happened. That's when Sasuke's opinion started to change. He didn't realize what was going on until he met Obito, which was posing as Madara Uchiha at that point, told him the true story about what happened with Itachi and the rest of the Uchiha clan. And then Sasuke's sole mission after that was to destroy the Leaf Village. When he was brought back, Itachi explained that even though he did the deed that he did, it was for the good of the village. And he was trying to explain to Sasuke why he had to do it. But Sasuke still was looking at it, and more so in a linear sense, that they put his brothers through all this pain, so this is what he was going to bring towards Leaf Village. So Sasuke's side of the relationship with Naruto, like I kind of touched briefly on when I was doing Naruto's character development. Sasuke, in the beginning, could not stand Naruto, and they didn't give us a reason why. It was more so that there was just the other reasons that the other kids couldn't stand Naruto, because he was a knucklehead, he was a troublemaker, they thought he always wanted to be included in stuff. He didn't study. He didn't practice for his ninja exams and stuff like that. He just got in the way. That's how it was at first. Then he started getting a respect for Naruto as his rival, and he was always trying to do better than him. But if we fast forward, like I said, to getting to the end of the series, he finally revealed that he was jealous of Naruto and he wanted to be like Naruto, because of the fact of how Naruto did not hesitate, and his will and his constant like I said, you're my friend, so I'm going to help you. And he didn't understand why, even though Sasuke left the village, joined up with Orochimaru, threatened to destroy the village, and all this other stuff that he did, and Naruto still saw in his eyes that he could do no wrong, that he was hurt by everything that has occurred in his life, and he still thought that he could help his friend change. His character completely changed after finding out the truth about the Uchiha clan and what happened with his brother. The first person he outed and killed was Danzo, and the rest was history after that. So he was just going to basically chop the leaf down. But like I said, after he ran in with Orochimaru for the second time and all the stuff that ended up happening, he was more so convinced after that, after meeting with the previous Hokage, that he wanted to destroy the image of the leaf that it was carrying at this point in time, and he wanted to rebuild the leaf in his image and become the strongest person over and dictate, so that no more wars or anything would happen. That was his image, and that's what his resolve was, that he wanted to do. But after him and Naruto's big battle near the end of the series, he changed his mind. He wanted to go away for a while and, get his head straight, clear his mind, and see if his hiatus away from the leaf would be able to give him answers on whether or not he still felt the same when he came back, or he changed his mind. What I did not like about Sasuke is he just came off as a huge brat. Like, he was so fixated on his goal and nothing else mattered. Whether they were in the middle of a mission with Team 7, whether Sakura was pouring her feelings out to him, whether Naruto was just trying to be acknowledged and friends with him, it didn't matter. The only thing that he was primarily focused on was defeating and killing Itachi. And then it was just something bigger and bigger and bigger after that. Like I said, after Itachi was killed, he wanted Danzo. After Danzo was killed, he wanted to gather up the tailed beast, because he wanted to but that was more so Madara's plan, and he was following out Madara's plan. But then he excelled and broke away from Madara, and then it was more so, I want to destroy the hidden leaf. And it was just something that was always there in the way, and not realizing that these people aren't here. They weren't here to try to take you away from your goals or anything like that. They just wanted to be with you. They just wanted to help you. and he could not see that. He could not see past that, and that was the one thing that really irritated me about Sasuke. Let's talk about Obito for a little bit. Obito, I never saw it coming. I will tell you that. I never saw it coming. But in the beginning, Obito grew up just like Team 7 did. Just like, it's like Naruto basically, the series is what I'm saying, was just different generations being shown, but the same thing happening each time. That's kind of like how it was. Uh, so Obito was with Kakashi and Rin. And Obito was just like Naruto. He had a kind heart. He was always late, but he was late for a reason. He was always helping out the elderly in other whatever task that they needed to do. So he was always trying to impress Rin and impress Kakashi, um, which in this case would have been Sakura and Sasuke. And he had a rivalship going with Kakashi as well. But Rin was the only person this time that was really acknowledging him. While Kakashi was just thinking that he was annoying because he was always late and all this type of stuff like that. So after one of the missions that they had ended up almost failing because Rin got captured and Kakashi wanted to continue on with the mission because that was what was drilled into his head at the time. And Obito was saying, you know, the famous line that we've heard like 20,000 times doing this show, that uh, any person that abandons their friends are worse than scum. So he went off to find Rin. Kakashi joined him, and this the whole point of that, he awoken his Sharingan and everything like that. They ended up saving Rin, but there was a huge cave in the little cave that they were at, and Obito unfortunately got trapped underneath the rocks. So he was already like, you guys got to get out of here because I'm pretty much done. I'm gonna die. It looks like half of his body was pretty much crushed underneath the rocks. He ended up giving Kakashi his Sharingan, and that's how Kakashi got the Sharingan. They ended up leaving, but later on, when when Obito was revealed as the fake Madara Uchiha, which, like I said, I did not see coming at all because I had totally forgot about Obito. But they revealed that Madara was the one that found him, brought him back to basically life. He wasn't dead, but brought him back to life basically. Was talking to him, basically manipulating him because Madara had got manipulated himself, but we'll get into that in a little bit. And the image that made Obito flip into evil was seeing Kakashi basically kill Rin. But we actually know exactly what happened, and it was just more so of a brainwashing because of Zetsu and Madara and everything else. Obito's impact on the ninja world, like big impact, big impact. And the reason I say that because he was responsible for the Nine Tails attack way back when, because we know that the Sharingan is one of the things that can control the tail beast. So he orchestrated the attack on the Leaf Village. So that set the whole motion and the plan for the events that followed. So, like I said, big impact because if it wasn't for that, Naruto's parents would still be alive. Naruto would not be without his parents. I think a lot. I think it put the fear a lot into the elders of the Leaf Village and stuff. So possibly there would have been no coup d'etat. Sasuke would still have his entire clan. I feel like a lot would have changed. So if it wasn't for all that, if it wasn't for the manipulation and everything like that, then it would have been pretty much a positive environment. It probably would have been that alternate reality that we saw later on during the Infinite Tsukuyomi. So later on during the Great Ninja War, Naruto pretty much influenced him, like you should have known what's going to happen. Influenced him to turn over a new leaf, basically, and realize what he had done. Realize that hope is a very powerful tool, and he saw how Naruto was with people, and how he basically saw himself, his earlier self, in Naruto about the dream of being Hokage and being nice to the elderly and always willing to help and caring about friends and everything. And it just made him remind himself of who he was. And he kept seeing Rin, and knowing that if Rin saw him now, that she wouldn't even recognize who he was, and she wouldn't even acknowledge him. So it kind of it basically changed his entire outlook on everything. Um, and he ended up actually helping Naruto and Sasuke in the end against the battle against Madara, but ended up, of course, actually getting killed. Um, and his last gift, which was pretty freaking cool to Kakashi, was he gave him his eyes only temporarily for a moment in the actual last battle. So let's talk about the man of the hour, Madara Uchiha. I'm sitting here talking the whole time and I totally forgot. I have a light sitting here that could have brightened things up for you. Sorry, I'm gonna have to do this section in the light. Blooper reel. So Madara's plans for pretty much peace. He wanted a world without chakra, a world without fighting, a world without wars, and he was manipulated himself by Zetsu by reading the ancient scroll that was on the wall for the Uchihas. So his plans was to follow out that mission indefinitely, and this infinite Tsukuyomi was his master plan to put this in effect to happen, so that everybody could be put in a dream world and everybody could live out their days, the rest of their days, just living in their dream world without fighting, without conflict, and everybody just being happy. It sounds good to me. I don't know if it sounds good to anybody else, but it sounds good to me. His ultimate feud with Hashirama, these two were best friends. They met one day at a pond, skipping rocks, just shooting the breeze, talking. They met every day. The problem was they were from rival clans. And it goes back into the thing about children being innocent and being taught hatred, which another thing that affects the real world. Just innocent, like they didn't care whose clan who was from who. These two kids basically liked hanging out with each other every day. They hung out with each other every day until they found out that they were from rival clans. And when they found out from rival clans is when their fathers and brothers and everybody else was like, you can't hang out with these kids. They're our enemies, because they were at war. So as they grew up, they ended up being, they couldn't be friends anymore. They stopped hanging around each other. So they were the ones starting to battle now. So they were battling each other. And it just turned into a big mess, man. And like I said, if hatred was never taught, this world would be such a better place. The anime world would be such a better place. Naruto's world would be such a better place. The Land of Fire. But it just blew up into something that should have never happened. Hashirama and Madara had one big last battle where Hashirama thought he killed Madara, but he really didn't. What ended up happening was he ended up just mortally wounding him. Madara cast a jutsu, I believe, to help keep him alive, which birthed the Ghetto statue, and that basically kept him alive until the whole Obito situation. So like it was all in a prophecy that they had put together in the first place. So after everything was put into place and Obito got help from Kabuto to resurrect Madara in the first place, everything started getting set in stone and set into place. Madara's ultimate plan was always to fully come back to life so he can orchestrate this infinite Tsukuyomi, which he ended up actually doing. But, like I said, Madara was manipulated as well by Black Zetsu. And Black Zetsu's whole goal was to resurrect his mother, which he ended up succeeding in after Madara absorbed all the tailed beasts inside of him. So, after the battle between Team 7 and Black Zetsu's mother, I cannot remember her name. Madara basically was spit out, but since he had basically all 10 tail beasts ripped from him, he was on his deathbed. And even in the end, he still didn't want to give up his position on what he thought true peace was, but he kind of made peace with Hashirama in the end. So, what I liked about Naruto Shippuden, Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, were definitely the battles. One thing Lady Akane told me about Naruto was that as soon as I got past the whole believe it phase, it was going to get good, and it definitely did. Like the first big battle I saw when Naruto had finally did a summoning jutsu, summoned the big frog. I can't think of these names right now, man. It's crazy, and he had to fight Gaara's tailed beast. I know his name. I know all these names, but of course I get in front of the camera and I can't remember anything. I should have jotted down these in my notes. But that got me hooked after that, and I was just like, yes, this is awesome. And of course the story dynamic, the twists and turns, and you know that's what I look for in an anime, and it was just so just brilliant. Now, after having said that, the thing that I did not like, and I know a lot of you out there did not like, is having to see the same stories 25 times in a row. And it's just ridiculous. It went from, it's like we didn't need an extra breakdown and recap of what happened in Naruto, because we kept seeing, as soon as you heard dun 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 dun, you knew it was going to be a terrible episode because of what was to come. You knew it was about to be a flashback to the past that made no sense. We don't care. Why are we seeing this again? We are stuck in the middle right now of Naruto. He's got a big Rasengan in his hand, ready to attack, and we had to go back to the past for what? For what reason? And that was that I mean, that trumps everything else as far as what I did not like about the show. There was nothing really else that besides the ending and how Naruto Shippuden ended. That was the biggest thing that trumps everything. And I just hearing from other people talk and knowing that it had dropped in popularity in Japan, that was one of the reasons I believe they said why people started losing interest in the show, because you kept seeing the same stuff over and over again. They were taking too long to get to the point. And then I feel like they definitely rushed the ending. Last 5 episodes, it was like everything, they were trying to combine and rush everything into one. And it was like they were trying to figure out whether should we just continue to keep going with the series or should we get ready to end it. Because you had 2 missions that were just placed like in the last 15 episodes for no apparent reason. The one with Shikamaru, and then the one with Sasuke. And it was just like, well, you know, what significance does this have? Because Naruto was barely in the last 15 episodes, and the show is about him. And it's crazy. But it's like just 2 random missions just placed afterwards. And I guess it was just to show that how much they had grown, because everybody pretty much was jonin now. And other people were teachers and all that type of stuff like that. And it was just weird to see like these just 2 random place missions in the middle of nowhere, and then the last 5 episodes are focusing on Naruto and Hinata's wedding, and they didn't hint at anything of them getting together at the end until the last 5 episodes. So we didn't even know what was going to happen. It just popped up all of a sudden, and one thing to be like they kind of kept joking about was Orochimaru. Like, we went from this guy trying to basically destroy the leaf to him being comic relief at the end of the series. He's in the background, like, swatting bugs. He's working at Ichiraku ramen shop. Like, it was so funny. It was so crazy to see it, because it was like, does anybody even notice that Orochimaru is just walking through the leaf and nobody's, like, saying anything? Does anybody not recognize him? Like, what's going on? So it was really, really crazy at the end. But all in all, I loved Naruto, man. It was a freaking awesome anime. My favorite character in the series definitely was Gaara. I felt like in a lot of ways I related more to Gaara than anybody else in the series. And it was just so much of how like the power of just love and friendship could change somebody, like do a full 180 and go in the other direction. Because you know how Gaara was. He was hated by all, because of him having Sand Demon inside of him and being different. And his own father didn't like him. His own father tried to kill him. One of Lady Akane's points was she felt like the reason why his father hated him so much is because he blamed Gaara for the death of his wife, or the death of Gaara's mother. Which, you know, is a pretty good assumption, I would think. It's probably something relating close to that. But Gaara ended up becoming Kazekage and a fine young man after meeting Naruto. Naruto, of course, like I said, has that effect on everybody that was in this series. And he changed him, and he became his friend. And Gaara became a more likable person. And people respected him after that. They looked up to him in his own village. It was like Lord Gaara after he became Kazekage, and it was just like, you know, it was just so different. Like I said, the power of love. Of course, his tattoo on his face means love, but a demon that only loves itself. And not as far as in that aspect of me only loving myself or anything like that, because I don't think I ever did that. I always had a big heart. But as far as being a huge loner, I think I was that as a child growing up. I didn't really do too much with anybody, and I pretty much just basically just entertained and hung with myself. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Camera died, but I was talking about the Pain Saga. The Pain Saga was pretty much my favorite saga. From everything in it, from everything that happened, from Naruto changing Nagato, and everything just about the Pain Saga was just so like it was so perfect, man. Just from the battle, and then the point where this is, I think, the point where Hinata started being acknowledged by Naruto as being, you know, somebody that actually like really deeply cares for him. When she jumped into battle to protect him when he was pretty much down and out and Pain was pretty much going in for the kill. And then, you know, what happened, Hinata, Pain pretty much beat her up, almighty push, you know, everything like that ended up happening. And I mean, it just really just exemplified what that entire series was about. To me, it was the best saga that they had. Everything in order from it. My favorite theme of Naruto, because they had some really good themes, and when I mean by theme, opening theme, it had to be from the same thing, honestly, from the Pain Saga, man. That I really like the theme from the Pain Saga, because it just, in a music sense, it brings out capturing like the essence of the saga. I wish I could put it into words exactly what I'm trying to say, but it made you feel. But all in all, man, I'm gonna get ready to close this video out, but Naruto was probably one of the only animes I have ever seen that made me feel this deeply, that made so much emotion pour out of me in a whole. Like, even for both of us, really, for me and Lady Akane, I know she has her own thoughts on it, but one of the best animes I have ever seen. Quickly probably becoming my favorite anime of all time, as you see Itachi staring you down in the background. Like, this, like I said, from everything from this being the first anime that we watched and finished, to just the anime as a whole in itself, of how good it was. Just one of the best ever, in my opinion. And nobody gonna change my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't know. More animes to come. You already know what it is. This is a news perspective, man. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Next on the list, we're probably going to go back, and I'm going to actually analyze and record my first anime I have ever seen. And no, it's not Dragon Ball. I told you Dragon Ball is not going to be on this channel. So you just have to wait and see exactly what that is. I probably already revealed it in one of the other videos, but that'll be next on the list to come. So, as always, people, it's your boy RJ Elite signing out. Thank you for watching. As always, keep God first, and I will see you next time.